Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, another brand new day. When I move my mouse pointer down into the taskbar of my Windows 10 install, it is 7:13 a.m. on Monday morning, the 13th of August, and in my hand, I have a hamster. Yes, indeed. Little Saber, little Cream, little Saber of the band Cookies and Cream. Yay! She is a sweetie. That coloration on her face makes her look kind of derpy in my head. It gives her kind of a cleft palate look. So she looks a little silly to me. But I really like her. She is a sweetie. And I gotta put her back in her cage now. There we go, little one. So, the big news about hamsters is last night Boogle perished. She was just, her age and the illness that she picked up went and knocked her immune system down, and she died. Now, the treatment that I had given her had cleared up the wet tail. That was all cleared up, so she didn't die in pain and really just awfully sick. She died, so nothing's ever fun, but at least it wasn't horrific. She was still active up until the very end. I mean, not to the very end. All day yesterday. Must have been from about 3 or 5 o'clock onward is when she would have finally just begun the end process. Because when I found her, she was in Cheyne-Stokes breathing. And Cheyne-Stokes breathing is when you're just... And then you just do that every 20 seconds. And then you just don't breathe in between time. You're basically gone. Your body's just in the process of leaving too. That is what she was when I finally found her. Because, as I'd stated, she'd been active. But I hadn't seen her all afternoon or all evening, but I had seen her that morning. And she was still active. But I wanted to check on her before bed last night, so I lifted up her house, and she was curled up on her side, Cheyne-Stokes breathing. So I got to say goodbye. I cried, and I'm trying not to cry now. But I held her in my hand and I said goodbye. And it was really toward the end because her Cheyne-Stokes breathing was, it altered quickly. So she was almost completely gone by the time that I had to go to bed. But I said goodbye and she was gone. So Boogle is gone. Like I say, she didn't die horribly and painfully, so that's good. Life is life. I've gotten better at handling things like that, putting myself back together. I'm sad. I am grieving. I mourn. I have some regrets because she's gone, but I certainly don't feel guilt. And guilt is what we end up usually feeling a lot of, but for no reason. And when you realize that you shouldn't feel guilt, most of your devastation just falls away. So yeah, I feel sad, but I gave her the best life she could have, and she was happy, she was active, she was as fat and happy and sassy as she could be. So it's a good thing. Mama Squeak is still with us. She's still active and old. And Charvy is still just an amazing little guy. Even this morning, I just put my hand in his cage and he ran up to sniff my fingers. And when I lowered my hand a little more, he just went biddly-deep into my hand and I just picked him up and had a little bit of FaceTime with Charvy. Because when they know you're sent, and they know you, and they trust you, they will just run up. Because Charvy, he just dashes over to me whenever he sees me. And then if he sniffs me and realizes it's me, he's boom, bump up into my hand. So they love that. They can be very, very affectionate creatures. Now, remember that their affection is limited. They have very tiny brains. So, but they do feel affection and all other things. I mean, they're as sentient as we are. They just very much smaller, tiny brains, tiny personalities, tiny minds. But they still feel things. Now, here's the thing that I'd read about yesterday, and quite fascinating, I thought, because I like little critters and I like learning things. Pointless stuff. I mean, how is this going to enrich my life? It's not. I just like learning things. And I thought it was pretty cool, because they've wondered for ages and ages and ages whether captive creatures run on their wheels because they're bored, or if that's just what they do. I mean, because hamsters in a cage will run and run and run and run and run. Chinchillas will run and run. Rats will run and run and run. And people have wondered, scientists have wondered, is it because they're just bored in captivity with nothing else to do, or do they just like to run? Now, there has been no definitive study, but I'm taking this one thing as just about as definitive as it can get, and minus an actual big study, I'd say it's pretty damn definitive. Excuse me. I cannot remember her name. I cannot remember her job title, but she studies animals. And what she did was she took a cage and a wheel, put it outside so that, you know, it wasn't, they wouldn't get trapped, but these creatures, wild animals, could discover the cage, enter the cage, where the wheel was, examine the wheel, and if they wanted to, run on it. If they didn't want to, not run on it. And they put a motion camera on it. And she discovered that not only is it mice, everything just was fascinated by it. Wild animals, toads, frogs, possums, rats, everything came to investigate this, and they'd sit on it. Even if they couldn't run, the frogs would sit on it, toads would sit in the wheel, rats would just, and they would run just like they do in captivity. For the same amounts of time. Mice would come up and they'd run on it for 1 or 2 minutes and then stop, just like they do in captivity. So wild creatures were coming up and just running on the wheel for fun because they enjoyed running. Thumbs up for that. Like I say, not definitive. But when you put a wheel in a cage, so they have to enter the cage to get to the wheel, and they do, just so that they can run on the wheel, I'd say that's pretty definitive. Maybe we need a big study, but I'd say they just like to run. They just like to do things. Tiny, tiny minds, tiny, tiny brains, but they may be tiny, tiny little oceans, little puddles in comparison, but those tiny puddles of their minds are still pretty deep for what they are, and that's a good thing. So speaking, I had found a wheel that I hadn't been using, and I gave it to little Dr. Snurf / Cookie of the band Cookies and Cream, and it took him a while to figure it out, but he's in there running on that wheel now. Definitely a thumbs up. Now, all of Boogle's stuff, I'm pretty much just going to have to throw away all of that stuff, because everything that was in her cage was either wood shavings or cardboard or wood. So the wood of the house that she had been in here and the one just before it, foolishly, I went and gave her both. Now they're permeated with bacteria and such because she was sick. I mean, clean the stuff as I may, I still put the same toys in there that she had. Good, bad, indifferent? I don't know. You can't treat it, so unless I soak it in alcohol, then that's going to kind of ruin it, isn't it? So I basically got to throw away all the stuff that's in her cage. I mean, bedding, of course, but I'm talking about the house and the toys and stuff. Life is life. It's life. Gosh, there was more things. I'm trying to remember. There was literally something I'd had right here. Oh, I went and forgot. I went and moved them all. I had a whole bunch of discs out because last night I started going through a whole bunch of my old physical discs just to see what I had left, because it's been years and years and years since I've looked at them, and all of my games are not digital, even though most of my stuff now is Steam or GOG or such, so it's all just digital. I still have a bunch of physical discs. Nothing new, really. I think my newest is like 2002 or 2006, something like that. So it's been a while. So I'm not even sure a lot of these discs even work. And I've got a bunch of discs that I've written as well, you know, read-write, so, well, writes. And I don't know if those have survived, because bit rot, especially with home stuff, only lasts like 6 years. And these discs that I've got are older than that. So they've been in boxes away from light, so who knows? Might still be in semi-good shape. We'll have to see. But I've got a whole bunch of older games, and some of them I want to play, but only because they're really, really silly. Like, I found the 3D adventure of Skittles. There's a Skittles adventure where Skittles are the magic of the world, and it is a full 3D action adventure RPG where you're collecting Skittles to collect, well, to collect, yeah. But you're collecting the Skittles to do magic, and oh my gosh, 3D platforming and all. It's an interesting game. Interesting. I might have to run that one. And I dug out my Diablo 1 and my Diablo 2, so I've got those mega old games up and running again. Even though I've got the physical stuff, I had to install Diablo 1 off the physical disc. Diablo 2, they at least support that. Blizzard does through their Blizzard app. So I was able to download Diablo 2. I'm losing my mind. Because I had the key. But you don't need a key for Diablo 1, thank goodness. Which is probably why they don't sell it digitally. Because you don't need a key, so there's no real control over it, so thumbs up for that. But why did I bring those up? I can't even remember why I drugged them out and started playing them again, except yesterday I started thinking about them, and I love the old Diablo games. They're just isometric, 45-degree angle, but it's all hand-drawn sprites and hand-drawn pixel art and hand-drawn backgrounds, and it's really, really good. It's definitely a thumbs up. It's game loops to its barest, most addicting, because you click with your left mouse to move, and then you click on the bad guys to shoot them, or hit them with your weapon, and that's basically it. You've got your other hand to do your minor, oh, I'll attack with this, or this sort of special thing, but primarily it's all down to just click and hold to move your character, click and click on the bad guys to kill them, and go out, murder until you're damaged, and then run back to your base, heal, get more healing, and then go out to do it all again. So it's a really bare game loop, but it's down to its most addicting, and boy, both Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 are super, super fun. They still have mods for both of the games. I'm running Diablo 1 through a Diablo patch loader that lets it run in a sizable window, and it makes a bunch of UI changes for modern systems. There's all sorts of patches and stuff for old games. It's awesome. So I wish I'd been smart and kept the discs out, but I still have another box of discs that I'm going through. I've got so much stuff without even cases. They're just stacks of old discs, just in a stack. All of them getting scratched up and more ruined as time goes by, so thumbs up. Oh, hokey smokes. Time goes by, there's so much I've still wanted to say and talk about, and I just never have time. So, I do have a game channel. might as well do this. I have a game channel if you wanted to check that out. If you like watching older people play video games, it's a whole channel of me playing video games. So I try to do 1 video a day, and it's not monetized. Hopefully we can get it monetized. That would be cool. Not a requirement. I don't feel entitled, but if you wanted to check it out and just watch, that's awesome. That's why I make the stuff, so people can enjoy them. It'd be nice if I get monetized, but even if I never got monetized, I'm still gonna make them. So hey, hope you enjoy. Excuse me. I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people. It's a range because even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, I get lost. Fibro and worse. Thumbs up. I'm not reading the comments right now. Got lost again there. Trapped in the mist in my own head. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thank you for having left a comment. Good comment, bad comment, indifferent comment. Just thank you for having left a comment. Greatly appreciated. And if I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and right now we're really, really, really good at marching toward this really fast drum, racing toward the cliff of American fascism. Hopefully we're not going to get there, but we're almost there. So, I'm opening up my Chrome again, calling up Chrome. We have Isaac Baker, greatly appreciated. Jessica Big, thank you very, very much. And Masani Azura, greatly appreciated. Lachi Mate, I'm going to go with Mate because it's an M8 and then about 6 or 7 exclamation points. Kathy Kisscat, good to see you. Drew Treek, greatly appreciated. I was hoping to get your name right, and I hope I did. So Jacob, greatly appreciated. And Dave Box G, thumbs up and thank you. And then Cat Moston, greatly appreciated. Dog Fiber, thumbs up and thank you. Carbankles I hope I got it right. And The Edge Walker, greatly appreciated. David Osvado, I sure hope I'm close. Thank you very, very much. Chris Jericho, greatly appreciated. Ali, thumbs up and thank you. And then Cynthia Munoz, I sure hope I'm close. Luftman Lights, greatly appreciated. Srock Official, always better than the unofficial Srock, greatly appreciated. Craig Cloud, greatly appreciated. Young Kurumashita 666, I sure hope I'm close, but I bet I'm not. Thank you very, very much. Dave Wah, thank you very, very much. And CSCSAU, thank you very, very much. Julia Kesey, thumbs up and thank you. And we have, it's a whole bunch of looks, I cannot even tell the Asian characters. I'm very sorry. I wish I could pronounce your name. Thank you very much, though. I'm very sorry. And then Robert the Viking, greatly appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you, each and every one of you. As stated, to get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Thumbs up and thank you. And hey, if you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, Google+. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. But if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes. I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would definitely be cool. I would understand if you don't want to, but if you are down with it, I will do my best to keep you entertained from now until literal, well, the day I kick off and die. Hopefully I'll be live streaming on my deathbed before then, though. You know, if it's not a surprise, I mean, if I'm out walking and I kick off, I can't be recording that, can I? But if I have preparation, well, hey, that's at 18 minutes and almost 19 minutes, so thumbs up on that. Oh gosh. Oh yes, it was this. I had forgotten. But yes, to be alive is to live in chaos. Embrace this. Stagnation is death. Comfort is death. You always have to keep pushing. Because if you get comfortable, you stop pushing. You stop pushing, you stagnate. You stagnate, you die. You gotta keep pushing. You always have to keep pushing. Life is a struggle. And if you stop fighting, that's the end. I have seen that so many times from people that have stopped fighting and then they are gone. So don't be comfortable. Always push. Don't be uncomfortable. Don't live like on the street like a crazy person, but be And I'll talk about that another day, because I'm trying not to be mean toward crazy people, because I've been there. So anyway, I'm going to have a reaction video, a game video, hopefully a game video for the game channel. So you take care. Have a great day today. I shouldn't be rushing. I'm sorry about that. Who cares if I'm over 20 minutes? You take care. I will see you on the flip side. There's nothing wrong with any issues that you may have, and there's nothing wrong with anything. But you take care. I'll see you on the flip side, and have a great day.